Calling shelters to get the truth. You have to have income or be able to get income to be in a shelter.
Shelter.
Yes, ma'am. What are the qualifications to get into your shelter?
You just have to be homeless.
Okay. Now, how do you prove you're homeless?
There's really no way I just can. We do have to have a letter of verification from someone that knows your situation that says they are verifying that they're homeless, and it has to have their name, the date, and a phone number on it.
Okay.
And then we just have to have a picture ID, Social Security card.
Wow.
Birth certificates for any kids. We do background checks before we do any kind of paperwork.
Okay. What do you look for in a background check if they're wanted?
We search for warrants. We search for nationwide and Kentucky sex offender registry.
Okay.
And we check for any domestic violence.
Okay. So if they have a history of any of this, you don't let them in?
If it is recent, yes, we would refer them to OASIS.
Okay. What is an OASIS?
Well, if it's a woman, we refer them to OASIS. It is a shelter for domestic violence.
Okay. What are your rules there?
It's a big old thing that they go over it's an intake they have to do, and it's about a 2.5 hour process. I'm actually in the soup kitchen, and I wouldn't be able to read you everything.
Okay, I understand. Is it just a night shelter, and you have to leave during the day?
No, you do not have to leave during the day, but you are expected to be up at 8 a.m. Beds and rooms have to be clean. Single women have anywhere from 4 to 6 people in the room, in one room. You have 30 days to look for employment and things like that. You have classes and a case manager you have to meet with weekly.
Okay, what if you're handicapped and you don't get a check and you can't work? What do you do then?
That is something they would have to work with the case manager about, because she would help them sign up on disability or anything that they needed to do within that 30 days.
What if, okay, I'm asking you what if now. Now, what if she doesn't want disability because they require you to go to doctors and take medications?
That's something you would have to call back and talk to the case manager about, because I've never come across that, because our program is helping helping them get on their feet.
Helping them get on a check, right, or get a job?
Yes, they have to either have some kind of income or get a check to be able to stay and work our 2-year program.
Alrighty.
Or the case manager helps with housing and everything, as long as they're doing what she asks of them, their goals and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, pretty much not a homeless shelter. It's pretty much a jail that you better do what you're told. Now, for Green River Ministries.
There was no answer there.
There is no one available to take your call at the moment, so please leave a message after the...
Here's another one.
Can I help you?
Yes, can you give me some information about your shelter?
Yes, this is a 30-day shelter. There's only 3 rooms, and there's a waiting list. But if someone needs, they can come in, fill out an application, wait to do a background check, and then I believe we will let them know if they are approved or not.
Okay, so it's an approved, if you're approved shelter. Okay, what are your rules if you're approved?
If you're approved, you need to be
Hello? Are you there?
if you're in the shelter, the latest you can be in is midnight, and you have to be there from midnight to about 7, 8 in the morning. But if you have a job at night, we can schedule around it.
Okay. Do you take handicapped people that have no income?
You know, I'm new myself, so I'm still learning. Let me go ask someone real quick.
Okay. Well, can you just give the phone to somebody that's familiar?
Well, the thing is, both of our social workers are not here at the moment.
Okay.
And they're the ones that would be able to tell you like right off the bat. But there's someone else here that's been working just as long as they have, and they would know. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Both of our social workers are coming back in around midnight, noon. And if you would like, you can come in around 1 and talk to them, or you can call again around 1, and I can forward you to one of them.
Alrighty. I'll call back about 1 and talk to one of them and see what they have to tell me. Thank you, doll.
My pleasure. You have a good day.
Now I'm calling the Daniel Pitium Shelter in Owensboro.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed.
No, ma'am. The Welcome House is a shelter on Pike Street, 205 Pike.
Do you happen to have that number? I'm not in,
Yes, ma'am.
because this is the number I was gave.
431. 8717.
8717?
Yes, and that's where you got to go at, get you a caseworker and stuff, but before they can put you in this women's shelter, you got to go to this one first, and the women's shelter is right underneath the train trestle, right there by the Fairhaven.
Okay, what's the area code?
859, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice lady.
Thank you for calling the Welcome House. How can I help you?
Yes, I need some information about your shelter, please.
Okay, what do you need to know?
Well, what are the rules and how do you do? I mean, how you do it?
How do you get into the shelter? You would have to come in for an assessment. Our assessments are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. until 11:45. They would assess the needs of the person. If we're able to help them meet the needs, they would assign them a service coordinator. They make a commitment to coming in once a week to meet with that service coordinator. Although it does not guarantee that they would get shelter on the day of the assessment, it depends on availability.
Okay. Do you take handicapped people with no income?
Handicap is
In a wheelchair?
we are not wheelchair accessible.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Another question. Do you have to be able to work to come there?
No, you just have to be able to have some form of income, whether it's disability or, a job or what,
Okay.
So eventually, because our shelter isn't a shelter that you can stay there forever.
Right.
It is a shelter that
ideally you're there for 30 days.
Okay. What kind of identification do you have to have?
What kind of what?
Identification.
Um, just a Kentucky ID.
Okay. What if you're not from Kentucky, like Tennessee or somewhere?
You would just have to come in for the assessment, and they would discuss it with you there during the assessment. I don't know all of that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, folks, this is why there's so many homeless. You have to come back to that one 2 or 3 times to see if they'll let you in. You have to have income. Now you know some truth. You have to be able to work or draw a check. In order to draw a check, you have to go to doctors and take pills and kill yourself. Now, this is true. This is breaking it down for you. This is the facts. Now, all these people got these homeless shelters. They're getting money from people. They're getting donations. But they're too strict. Their rules are so strict. I bet they don't have anybody in them. Milking the system. That's my opinion. That's from what I see. That ain't right. God don't like ugly. And that's why there's so many homeless. Now you know some truth. Now, if you have a social worker that just don't like your looks, don't like your smell, she can say, oh, well, we're going to need to call the police. She's crazy. Let's lock her up for the rest of her life, or let's lock him up. And that's why homeless people don't go to these places. Bullies are in every situation. They have a way of creeping in under the pretense of helping people. When the fact is, they're hurting them. So, next time you feel sorry for a homeless person that froze to death, think about their other options. There were none. Oh, God don't like